Colby, congratulations on a very thorough victory this evening. I'm just curious how you're feeling after the performance tonight.
10 push-ups, John.
Congrats.
Hey, Colby.
Hey, what's up, Helen? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. A real journalist who doesn't write with their feelings and talks about fighters not being deserving. So I would love to answer your question. What do you have for me?
Well, first off, congratulations on the great performance and the fight of the night. I'm just curious, first off, after training with Jorge in the past, did anything in there surprise you at all?
Nah, nothing in there surprised me. Another dominant finish. Whooped his ass from second 1 to minute 25. You could see in his body language he had nothing left in the fight. I was ready for 5 more rounds in the parking lot. So, if he wants to keep doing this, we'd go for 5 more rounds in the parking lot. Bring out another guy, man. American trash team, man. They need to keep sending guys to me, but just don't expect to get them back in one piece. I'm ready to take 2 of those fighters in one night. The King of Miami showed out tonight.
I know afterwards you called out Dustin Poirier, but for you, would it be more meaningful to fight Dustin or Kamaru Usman for a third time?
Definitely Marty Fake Newsman a third time. I got unfinished business with him. When I left the arena in Madison Square Garden, all the fans knew I won rounds 3, 4, and 5, but he's going to be out for a while. He's got that hand surgery, so, I figure I'll get another tune-up fight with Dustin Poirier, who said it's on site, and he weighs more than me. He's just a bully who cuts a lot of weight. I don't cut any weight because I know I'm the best in the world, and I don't need to have a weight advantage over anybody. So, Dustin, name the site, bring that Jezebel wife, and bring Connor's little kid, Parker.
Well, after training with both Dustin and Jorge, do you feel that Dustin will be a tougher opponent than Jorge was tonight?
I mean, you saw George, he just come out to took that losing paycheck. There's a reason he signed that contract before he fought me tonight. He knew he couldn't beat me. He knew if he put up his best performance like he did tonight, that was my worst performance, and it was still an easy night of work for me. So I beat them both up in the same night. I used to do it every Tuesday and Thursday at American Trash Team. So bring him out. He's talking all that reckless thing to the media. So I talk the talk. I walk the walk. I'm a man of my word. Promises made, promises kept.
And lastly, both of them have fought at 155 before. Would you ever consider moving down to 155 in your career?
I wouldn't, because I don't want to cut all that weight. I think I can make 162 very easily. Like 170 is a joke, man. I was running to the scale, like I felt so good. I was like, man, this is such an easy weight cut. Like I didn't miss one meal. I had all my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's an easy weight cut, but I'm not a bully. I don't need to bully guys at lightweight. That's an easy-ass division, and there's no reason for me to cut all that weight. I'd rather just fight in my natural weight class and prove I'm the best in the world like I did tonight.
Dustin over here. Colby over here. You called. Sorry about that. You just said you felt this was one of your worst performances. What specifically about this makes you make that assessment?
Well, first off, I want to say, man, it is so cold in here, man. I got all this ice on my neck. Can we turn up the temperature up in here? I'm freezing up here. You see all this ice on my neck, man? Frick, man, I got a house on my neck, man. But yeah, it wasn't my best performance. Just a lot of emotions going into it, That was a real friend of mine at one point in my career, and he's such a backstabbing thief, and he talks so reckless, and he's tried to make some false narratives to the media, make a lot of lies, like he does. He's a liar, he's a thief. So, I let the emotions get the best of me, but it was still dominant. I just showed how good I was, that I am the #1 fighter in the world for a reason, and it wasn't even competitive tonight.
The broadcast made it seem like you might have had a knee injury. Even Jorge said that he heard some rumors that maybe you got a cortisone shot. How accurate was that?
That's fake news. It's funny that happened, because I told someone intentionally because I wanted to see whose side he was really on, Team George or Team Colby. So I found out what team he's on, and I got to keep my circle even smaller going forward. But, I'm the King of Miami now. George needs to leave the city. It's not big enough for the two of us. So he needs to leave or he's going to get sparked again.
We couldn't hear what was being said. It was muted back here, but it even looked like your coaches were yelling at Jorge and his team. What exactly was being said in there after the fight?
Yeah, he was just still running his mouth. Like, dude, you just got pounded out, dude. You got dropped, wobbled. I mean, just a complete domination from second 1 to minute 25. You could see in his body language, he literally didn't have another 1 minute in him to go. So just imagine if there wasn't a ref there tonight, his life would have been over. So that's the end of Street Judas. I don't want to hear any more talk of Street Judas, the hype machine who hit lightning in a bottle for a couple fights. He's done. I don't want to hear another word about him.
I don't know if you've seen this, but Dustin Poirier has responded to you on Twitter. Well, we assume it's to you. He's currently in Jamaica, I think, right now on vacation. He called you a bumbaclot and said maybe fight a welterweight contender. So what's your response to that?
Let's do it, bro. He said it's on site, man. Let's do it, man. Stop talking reckless to the media, man. If I talk to the media and say things, I come out here and back it up. I'm a man of my word. So, you know, we can do it anywhere. We don't have to do it in a UFC octagon. If he wants to do it in a park or in the street, my only one concern is, my one stipulation is, you know, you let the world watch and enjoy themselves, just like he does when Conor's in bed with his wife. He's a little cuck.
Colby,
Colby.
down here. I know you don't respect George on a personal level, but as a competitor, after sharing the octagon with him for 25 minutes, is there any sort of respect there?
Let's talk about all the money that Drake lost tonight. He needs to go back to, you know, selling those shitty albums to get back the money. He should have went to America's Pick of the Week by my bookie. I tried to give the people the pick of the week. I'm America's champ, and I was America's Pick of the Week. Drake, you suck at sports betting. Go back to your shitty little albums of rapping.
Okay, that side, no, that side. Any level of respect him as a competitor at all?
Absolutely not. How can you respect that guy? He's a thief. He went to jail multiple times for grand theft. He's tried to compare himself to say he's on the same knowledge level as me. The guy didn't graduate middle school. I tried to ask him one simple question: how does a bill become a law? He couldn't tell me how a bill becomes a law. The guy's a fraud. He's a phony. He knows nothing about politics, and he got exposed for the journeyman he was tonight.
And how active do you want to be this year?
I want to be very active. I'd love to fight 3 times. I want to come back and fight International Fight Week in July, come back to Sin City, you know, the fight capital of the world. It's so convenient to fight here in Las Vegas. We got the UFC PI. You know, they do a great job. Shout out to Heather Linden, Bobby, and Charles. They did a great job of just keeping me well-fed all week, and just massages and just, you know, top-notch facilities. You can't complain when you fight in Vegas. It's the best in the world, so I'd love to come back.
Hey, Colby, to your left here. I wonder, you beat Dos Anjos for the title. Does this fight compare with that, this win?
Weren't you just writing an article talking shit? Like, I was trying to be nice to you.
I was talking shit?
Yeah, you said some stupid-ass shit about George in this fight, man. You're fake news, man. No one wants to...
I didn't say that.
I ain't answering you either. Next question.
Colby, right here, just one question. There's been a lot of talk about the pay-per-view points. Why did you give up the pay-per-view points, and was there some sort of trade-off in the contract?
Because I told Hunter Campbell, you know, this fight, I didn't care about the money. I wanted to come out here and fight this guy because he's talked so reckless. I was willing to take a pay cut. I didn't care. I would have fought this guy for free. I'm sick of this guy running his mouth. He can't talk and walk his walk. You know, he can't talk the talk and walk the walk like I do. So I was willing to fight this guy for free. It wasn't about money tonight. This is a personal rivalry that needed to be settled, and it got settled. So, you know, now that was the last of Street Judas, and we're not going to hear any more of him.
Great,
Colby,
thanks.
just in front of
Colby,
you here.
right here, straight up. Colby, I asked Jorge, he said that he was saying some words to you during the fight. Can you talk about what you might have said to him during the fight?
Yeah, I was telling him, yeah, I'm still your daddy. You know who your daddy is. I'm the king of Miami. So take this ass whooping like the little bitch. I'm glad you came out and, you know, took this ass whooping. But let's talk about Cain Velasquez, man. Free Cain, man. A lot of people, what he did, a lot of people, you know, wouldn't have done the same thing. But I respect the shit out of him. I mean, having your kid be molested, I mean, we talk about that all the time, like we would do that, but he was in that situation. He actually did it. So free Cain Velasquez, much respect and love, and I hope you get out soon.
I have an additional question. There was so much going into this fight. You've been part of some big fights already. When it's all said and done for your career, what are you going to reflect on most that you're most proud of getting the W in this particular event?
Selling out another arena, just like Madison Square Garden, 4th highest gate in Madison Square Garden. My last fight, you know, selling big pay-per-views, doing good business for the UFC. Sold out T-Mobile Arena tonight. Another electrifying crowd. You know, I'm sure the pay-per-views are through the roof. You know, I'm just gonna remember, you know, doing what I did best. You know, being a man of my word and, you know, doing good business for the UFC, the company that I love so much, man. I have so much respect for Hunter Campbell, Dana White, and all the UFC brass for what they've done and what they built with this company. So I love being a UFC fighter, and I want to be a UFC fighter for life.
Congratulations.
Colby, just in front of you here. Obviously, you know, you just said you sold out the arena. You didn't take pay-per-view points for this one because it meant so much to you. But given, you know, you mean so much to the company, you sold out this arena, is that something you'd want for your next fight?
I love it. I think I deserve it. George just signed his contract right before the fight because he knew he was going to get his ass whooped, and he wasn't going to have any leverage or power to negotiate after I whoop his ass on Monday morning. So, I want to be paid more than George Masvidal now. He likes to rub that in his face that, oh, I make more money than you, this and that. I mean, first off, no, he doesn't, because he pays half of it to Maritza, his ex-wife. So he doesn't make more money than me. But secondly, I need to be making more money than George. The guy's a flash in the pan, two-pump chump, like his ex-wife Maritza said. And, he's 37 years old, man. I'm 30. I just turned 34, 2 weeks before this fight. I'm in my prime. I'm getting better every single day, and you haven't seen the best of me. So, I still got a long, long career ahead of me.
And Masvidal was in here and he said, it was not one of his good performances. Were you to expect more from him?
No, I didn't expect more. That was his best performance he's ever had in his life. He knows every time we train. Last time we trained, left him unconscious with a high kick, fake takedown, high kick. So the guy's irrelevant. I don't want to hear any more about him. He was, lightning in a bottle. Shouldn't even been here in the first place, but he's lucky he got the main event tonight because they were going to bury him on the card. He was supposed to fight Edward Scissorhands 3 fights down. I brought him to a main event pay-per-view fight, so he should be thanking me and counting his chickens.
And finally, just one more from me. Khamzat Chimaev reacted to your fight. He was cage side. He's got a BS fight. If he beats Burns, he could be right next to you in terms of a title contention. Have you ever looked at Khamzat? Have you ever watched any of his fights?
I don't watch fights of people who have, 3-4 fights in the UFC. I mean, he should be mad at his mom. His mom named him Cum Shot. That's embarrassing, man. Don't get mad at me, bro. Get mad at your mom. She named you Cum Shot.
Thank you, Colby.
Hey, Colby. How you doing, mate? Henry Ford once said that a best friend is somebody who brings out the best in them. And tonight, we kind of saw that in a similar backwards sense of the phrase. So how much more heart and drive did Masvidal give you as opposed to fighting anybody else?
Not much more. I took this off the couch, man. I was in Aspen, Colorado when the UFC called for me to take this fight, and I was skiing the slopes, not even training. I was going to take a little bit of time off after the fight at Madison Square Garden. I had such a big chip on my shoulder, and I know Usman was going to be out for a while with his hand surgery, so I was like, I didn't think I was going to get a fight. And so I had a 4 or 5 week training camp, and this is what I did. Just imagine when I'm going to get an 8-9 week focused training camp, specific game plan for who I'm going to compete against. It's not going to be close. These guys are going to start getting finished, but the beauty of what I did tonight is there's no luck. There wasn't a fluke knockout. It wasn't, you can't say, he got a lucky knockout. What would have been if it would have kept going? I completely dominated that guy from start to finish. I'm the best fighter in the world, pound-for-pound champ, America's champ, people's champ, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, and the king of fucking Miami.
Hey, Colby, great victory, man.
Shmo, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Question for you, because when Dana White came in here, he didn't know what was next. How do you envision the pathway to getting another crack at the welterweight strap?
Yeah, I got to get back to work. I'm completely injury free. I'm healthy, so I want to fight in July. I think that's a perfect timeline to get back in there. And I think what's next is Dustin, man. He said he's on site. He said, we're going to jail, this and that. So let's fight, man. He said it's Bolkin season. He wants to come up and fight Nate at 170. He don't have a fight. Nate's fighting Connor, so there's no other fights for Dustin. He needs to come take this losing paycheck, just like his boy George just did.
When you talk to former President Trump again, what do you think that conversation's going to sound like?
It's going to be a great conversation, man. Mr. 45, President Trump, greatest living American and greatest president in history, man. The things he did for this country, all you liberals out there that say he didn't, look at inflation, look at our open borders. Our fucking country's going to shit right now without him. So we need him back in 2024, Trump 2024, and he's going to come back and make America great again.